Hey guys, this is Sonnet. I am doing my daily Dota tip number 3, and I want to talk about true sight range of towers. Now, true sight range of towers is not well documented. If I look at the tower and click it, there is no indication of its range. So what I did was I take Rikimaru from the dire side and I try to trace along the outskirts of the tower range, what I thought would be the tower range. What I discovered was something very interesting. It is that true sight range of the tower is slightly larger than the attack range of the tower. So for example, 1 unit away, so if I click here, I will be attacked by the tower. 1 unit away, I am safe from the tower. And you might be wondering, how does this affect you? Well, more experienced players might be able to notice this, but it might not be a clear concept to them. So something like ganking from now on, with this knowledge, you know that if you have dust and a level 1 tower, and you try to use your dust and run through here, it will always be a bad idea, because no matter what you do, you will be revealed, and this tier 1 tower needs to fall in order for you to make that gank through this river. Another thing is, if you're a wind-walking hero, and you're waiting for a gank, and you stand right here and you think you're fine because you're not being attacked by the tower, and the fact is you have been revealing yourself to the enemy, and the enemy support or the enemy mid hero might call in for reinforcement and change the way that the gank was actually supposed to happen. So just knowing this will always be a very good asset to your knowledge bank when you're playing Dota. Now, how do I identify the shape of the true sight range? And the thing is, I actually don't know the answer to this. It is supposed to mimic the shape of the attack range of the tower. So the attack range of the tower will follow something like a circle. But the thing is, this distance right here is much farther than this distance right here, which makes me believe that it's actually quite an oval. But it's, again, I have no definite way of answering it. The best way I can answer this is to know specific landmarks that tell you which points will identify the true sight mark. For example, I know at this point it will reveal me. So what I do if I'm a wind-walking hero is run far away from that point, and also I know that this part is true sight, so I will stay away from that point. How might this affect you when you are venturing around looking for ganks, this knowledge of true sight? Well, let's say that I know that at this point it gives me true sight, and at this point it gives me true sight. Well, then simply I walk around and I remain unseen. And that is the goal of a wind-walking hero, not being seen and ganking as a result. So with this knowledge, I can be more in position, I can be more prepared, and I know what's going around me in my surroundings. I also know, for example, that if I walk through this specific point, I will always be spotted and always be hit by a tower. So it's a point that I know I don't want to cross unless I have to. Another fairly minor point that I want to mention out is how your enemy team might use true sight against you. If they put a ward here and they're defending this tower here, and they successfully defend it, but you're still here waiting for a gank to happen, and you know that there is true sight here due to the tower and the ward here, then they will come and gank you, and there's nothing you can do about it if you only knew it a little bit earlier. And I see a lot of people going, how did you see me? How did you see me? How did you know I was there? And it was because they weren't aware of the true sight range of the tower. So little things like that always will improve your play. This wasn't exactly a tip, but it's certainly something to get familiar with. I could make a larger guide about all the spots that you should be aware of when you are roaming as a windwalker with the towers up. But again, guides are kind of out of my time, so I haven't been able to make it. Anyways, that was the daily Dota tip of the day. Wow, that was repetitive. And I will be making more content, so I will see you guys tomorrow.